Starting your first grow? Confused by all the conflicting advice? Afraid your question is too stupid to ask? Great, because we're asking all the stupid questions for you. We bring in experienced growers, ask what everyone is secretly wondering about, and get real answers. Welcome to 10 Stupid Cannabis Questions, where we ask the questions everyone is thinking and nobody wants to ask. Introduce yourself.
Kate, let's be honest. For the very first episode of 10 Stupid Questions, you needed someone iconic, slightly ridiculous, and dangerously overqualified. So naturally, you called me. I know you're a fan of mine. I know you love my episodes on Instagram, so I think we can all agree I'm probably the best possible guest to open the show. Haha. And for anyone who somehow doesn't know me yet, hi, I'm Herbie. You could say I'm the face of Herbie's Seeds. I live inside the Herbies head shop universe. Seeds, strains, growers, questions, panic, and then even more questions. On top of that, I'm basically a therapist for growers. In short, I'm a talking bud who knows way too much about seeds, genetics, and that very specific kind of anxiety where you check the same plant 7 times before lunch. Whew, thanks so much for having me on, Kate. I've got a feeling this is gonna be fun.
Do you have to be a feminist to grow feminized seeds?
Ooh, fuck. When we came up with 10 stupid questions, I didn't expect us to commit this hard to the stupid part. No, you don't have to be a feminist. You're good. But this grow box does have a strict gender policy. Only the girls are allowed to work here. If a boy shows up, he gets banned immediately as a threat to the harvest. And now, I'm honestly a little scared to hear question number 2.
Why does one cannabis seed cost $2 while another costs $20?
Well, I can already see the comment section opening a portal to hell with this one. If we keep it simple, a $2 seed is like, alright, let's see what happens. A $20 seed is like, dude, I've got years of breeding, testing, and marketing behind me. You're not just paying for a seed, you're paying for everything behind it. Genetics, testing, stability, rarity, the breeder's reputation, and yeah, sometimes a bit of hype. A cheap seed can absolutely turn into an amazing plant. Cheap doesn't automatically mean bad, and expensive doesn't automatically mean magic. Take Herbies, for example. You'll find seeds at all kinds of price points there, and that doesn't mean the cheaper ones are trash by default. Grandmommy Purple might cost less than AK Triple Haze, but I don't think many people would say Grandmommy Purple is just okay. It's a classic. Price isn't only about how cool a strain is. Behind every seed, there are years of breeding, selection, and testing, plus packaging, storage, logistics, taxes, marketing, and the breeder trying to stay in business. Nobody in this industry can pretend those things don't exist. So why is one seed $2 and another $20? Because one says, we'll see, and the other says, there's a whole lot of work and money behind me, so you would find me, trust me, and actually want to grow me.
If the seed is bigger, does that mean the plant will be bigger too?
Look at me! What size do you think my seed was for this to happen? The records are unclear. Size doesn't matter, actually fits perfectly here. A bigger seed doesn't guarantee a bigger plant. It usually just means it has a bit more stored energy to start strong. That's nice, but it's not everything. The final size depends on genetics, light, environment, root space, nutrients, and how good the grower is at not panicking every 12 minutes. A big seed can turn into a compact, tidy little plant, and a tiny seed can turn into a green monster that takes over half your tent. So don't judge a plant by the size of its luggage. It's a seed, not a movie trailer. The good part is what's going on inside, not outside.
How can 2 seeds from the same strain grow into completely different plants?
If every seed from the same strain looked exactly the same, growers would have lost their main mission in life years ago. Arguing about phenotypes online. A strain isn't one plant copied over and over. It's more like a family name. Seeds from the same strain belong to one genetic family, but each seed gets its own mix of traits from the parents. Like kids in one family. One is calm, predictable, and pays taxes on time. The other decides at 3 in the morning that he urgently needs an aquarium because the fish understand me better than people. Plants work the same way. 2 seeds from the same strain can differ in height, aroma, color, structure, growth speed, bud density, and how well they handle stress. That's what we call phenotypes. The strain name gives you the general direction, typical flavor, structure, effect, flowering time, and overall character. But it doesn't promise that every single plant will be a clone of its neighbor. And then you have the conditions: light, temperature, humidity, nutrients, root space, stress levels, and the overall chaos in the tent can bring out different sides of the same genetics. Stability matters too. More stable strains usually grow more consistently. Newer or less fixed genetics can show a lot more variation. That's why growers do pheno hunts. They grow a bunch of plants from the same strain and look for that one special plant.
Is it true that dark-colored seeds are better than light-colored ones?
Ooh! Seed discrimination based on color? I didn't expect that from you. Dark seeds often look more mature. Firm dark shell, sometimes with those marble or tiger patterns. But color alone doesn't define quality. A darker shell can be a good sign of maturity, but it's not a magic certificate. A good seed should feel firm and solid, with no cracks, no mold, and no "I survived 3 deliveries and a breakup" vibe. A light seed can still be completely viable. A dark seed can still let you down if it's been stored badly. So don't judge seeds like you're swiping through a dating app. Color is just the profile picture. What really matters is what's going on inside.
Do cannabis seeds have an expiration date?
If your seeds still remember the old Herbies website design, it might be time to hurry up. Seeds don't have a strict best before date like dairy products. They're more like people in their 30s, still totally capable. They just need better conditions, a bit more motivation, and less stress every year. Older seeds can still germinate, but they usually need more time, and the overall germination rate tends to go down. Temperature is the main villain here. If seeds are kept somewhere hot, like on top of a cupboard near a heater, on a sunny windowsill, or in a car in summer, they age much faster. The sweet spot is a cool place with no extreme changes. Dry, dark, and stable. A fridge can work too if the seeds are in a separate container with something to absorb moisture and the door isn't being opened every 2 minutes. The main rule is simple. The warmer and more humid it is, the faster a seed burns through its resources. The cooler and more stable the conditions, the longer it stays a realistic candidate to become a plant.
What's the weirdest customer complaint you've ever gotten about seeds?
Oh, you're going to like this one. It still lives in my head. We once got a complaint that the seeds didn't get the customer high. Just to be clear, they didn't grow them. They were talking about the seeds themselves.
Can you tell if a seed is good just by looking at it?
It's kind of like a job interview. On the outside, everything looks confident and polished. I handle stress well. I love to grow. A week later, it disappears. The way a seed looks can tell you if it seems healthy. It should feel firm and solid with no cracks, no mold, and no signs that it spent a month at the bottom of a backpack next to keys, a lighter, and an old receipt. But you can't just look at a seed and say, "Oh yeah, this one's gonna be a legend." You can notice damage, immaturity, or signs of bad storage. What you can't see is the genetics, the full potential, or whether this plant is planning to steal your sleep, your nerves, and the next 4 months of your life. So checking appearance is helpful, but it's not magic. A modest-looking seed can surprise you, and a perfect-looking seed can still say, "You know what? I'm not sprouting today."
Can a seed accidentally be ruined before it's even planted?
Absolutely. People have spent years coming up with new ways to ruin seeds before they even realize they're supposed to grow. If seeds could leave reviews, most 1-star ratings would definitely be about storage. Like I said, the main enemies are heat, moisture, and light. On top of that, you've got sudden temperature changes, damp packaging, damaged shells, and random "I just kept them somewhere" storage. Seeds like the most boring life possible. Cool, dry, dark, and stable. The fewer adventures they have before planting, the more adventures you'll have after.
If you could only grow 3 strains for the rest of your life, which ones would you choose?
Okay, I didn't realize we were doing the hard questions too. You got me with this one. I heard a grower say once that every new strain is an adventure, and life is too short to grow just one. But, alright, I'll give you 3. First, Grandmommy Purple. I genuinely love this strain. She's like a grandma who shows up with dense buds instead of cookies and says, "Sit down, I'm going to gently turn your day off now." Then Mimosa Shot. I love it for that bright citrus cocktail vibe and the power behind it. This strain can grow into a giant. I've seen the monsters people get in their backyards, and it's beautiful. And blackberry moon rocks. I love it because it looks cute and berry-like, but acts like serious heavy relaxation for experienced users. Compact, covered in resin, with dense berry lavender buds.
Now, let's move to the Blitz. These are 3 questions I ask every speaker because I think they reveal the real essence of the grower's experience. What's the biggest mistake beginners make?
Anxiety. Overthinking everything. Germination. Overwatering. Overfeeding. Constantly changing something. Asking for advice online and then doing the exact opposite. A lot of beginners don't just grow a plant, they build a tiny startup around it with full crisis management. A plant is a living organism. It needs stable conditions, attention, and time. Not a grower opening the tent every 15 minutes with the face of a surgeon before a complicated operation.
What advice would you give yourself before your first grow?
Part of me wants to answer like Reddit, don't cheap out on the light, buy a proper fan. But honestly, I tell myself, just grow something first. Basil, tomatoes, mint, a cactus, anything. Just learn the basic idea. Plants don't grow faster because you panic, add extra water, or stare at them like an investor. Learn to watch, not interfere, and not turn every single leaf into a personal drama. Then move on to cannabis.
What's one thing that gives the biggest results for the least money?
Stability. It sounds boring, but in growing boring things work surprisingly well. One decent timer and a simple fan can do more for your harvest than a whole shelf of fancy nutrients. Your plant doesn't always need a new magic booster. Sometimes it just needs the lights to turn on when they should, the air to move, and the grower to stop playing God with a spray bottle. The cheapest upgrade? A calm person standing next to the tent.
Herbie, that was amazing. I think we just made history with the first episode.
Bye!